Well, good evening, this is Hound Dog Steve coming to you on the 15th of April. And the 15th of April, I'm sure, will go down in history. And I'm sure that you've heard already that the Notre Dame Cathedral is burning to the ground as we speak in Paris. And what a sad day that is. Now, a warm welcome to you all who are returning to my channel, and a great shout out to all of you new viewers, and I hope you'll bear with me. I put together a short montage of some photographs of the Notre Dame Cathedral. I actually visited the cathedral myself when I lived in Europe. I lived in Amsterdam for 2 years before I came to Canada, and I had an opportunity to travel to Paris and go and take a look at one of the many sites in Paris. But the cathedral itself is absolutely spectacular. You cannot imagine the amount of work that went into this building. It took 200 years to build. Not quite 200, almost 200 years to build. I don't know if you can imagine a project lasting nearly 2 centuries, and the hundreds and thousands of workers who put their time in, and it shows the power of the Catholic Church in Europe of the day for it to be able to continue with that effort for nearly 200 years until it was completed. And so you can imagine the history that cathedral has seen, the secrets that are held within those walls, and of course the most devastating thing about this is the loss of the artwork. Much of it was saved, I understand, by firefighters, but the stained glass was not saved, and as you'll see by these pictures, that it's such an incredible loss of history. This church has stood for over 850 years. Now, they don't know what started the fire. Apparently it is around the area where they've been working. There is scaffolding there, there's been some rebuilding going on, but there's been no stated cause, although there are a few people who are pointing fingers at some groups. And of course I will show you an article there where there has been some raising of churches over the last few months, and so who knows where that might go to. But as far as we know, this is just a completely accidental, horrible accident. Okay, so I'm going to go through some of the history as we look at this montage, and then I'll come back and do a quick wrap up. Okay, here we go. Notre Dame quite literally means Our Lady of Paris. It was built in 1163 and was completed in 1345. That's nearly 200 years to build this structure. The person who conceptualized this idea was the Bishop of Paris, Maurice Sully, and he started the construction, but he died in 1196, long before its completion. So he never got to see his own building finished. It's one of the world's largest religious buildings. It is located in the heart of Paris, on the Ile de la Cité. Notre Dame was designed in a French Gothic style. Built into it was twin towers of 226 feet tall and had 380 steps to the top of these towers. Notre Dame contains a bell, and the largest bell is located in the South Tower and weighs 28,000 pounds. The bell is also known as the Emmanuel Bell and was created in 1681. The magnificent stained glass windows in Notre Dame are all original. And again, note the craftwork, the tedious hours that must have been spent cutting out each single pane of glass, all with love. That building was built with the conviction of people who believed in the sanctity of the church and had as an incredible belief in God. About 13 million people visit Notre Dame every year, which makes it the most popular monument in France. In fact, more people visit Notre Dame than the Eiffel Tower, and it's free to enter for all to see the beauties of the artwork. King Henry VI was coronated there to great fanfare on December 16th, 1431. Even Joan of Arc has a role in history with the Cathedral of Notre Dame, and she was declared an innocent and a martyr by an inquisitional court authorized by Pope Calixtus III, and this was in 1456, and so yes, she became a martyr for the cause according to the Church. During the French Revolution it was vandalized, but it survived that, and it was rebuilt and renovated to its former glory. And of course, who could ever forget the 1831 Victor Hugo novel, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, an incredibly sad and powerful love story that was truly a testimony to the terrible times that was during the French Revolution and the many years, a century after, obviously, following the French Revolution. It took a long time. And of course you have to remember at that time Europe was in the grips of the little ice age, and so it was just an absolutely horror show to be living in Paris at the time. In 1804 Napoleon invited Pope Pius VII to come to Notre Dame so he could be crowned emperor. At the last minute Napoleon crowned himself instead. Well, no surprises there, is there? The elites were alive and well throughout history, no doubt about that. Anyway, this is a historic building. It is a sad, sad loss for not just France, Paris, but the world at large, and we are the worse off for it. Okay, Russia Today. Notre Dame fire follows months of arson, vandalism and desecration of French Catholic churches. While the world watched in horror at the Paris historic Notre Dame Cathedral erupting in flames Monday, the fire is only the latest in a series of incidents that have left social media awash in images of heavily damaged churches. France has been hit with a string of fires at Catholic churches, some of which occurred alongside desecration of sacred objects and acts of vandalism. While the fire at Notre Dame appears to have been an accident connected to the renovations of the church, the image of the famous spire engulfed in flames is a hard hit on the historically deeply Catholic France, as well as Catholics all over who have seen their religion reeling from devastating scandals, cover-ups and attacks. So as you can see, my friends, this is a sad, sad day indeed, and the world is worse off today for losing that incredible structure and that incredible piece of art, and this testimony to the workmen of the past. And it really does lead you to believe, when you think of that project, we really do stand on the shoulders of giants, and much of our present day world would not be here if it weren't for the foundation, the architectural foundation that these people brought to life in these buildings, these incredible old buildings. And when you look at how they're built, the engineering, they had no cranes, they had no steel scaffolding, so how they built and painted and decorated and carved and sculpted and raised these huge pieces of stone. The bell, 28,000 pounds. That's 12 tons without a crane to the top of the bell tower. Anyway, there is some breaking news. Apparently the firefighters have managed to save the two towers, but of course we saw the spire come down, and but at least some of it has been saved. I don't know what kind of condition. It will have to be assessed. I'm sure that the temperatures have damaged the masonry. Maybe it's cracked some of the masonry, who knows. Those were large pieces of stone. Anyway, this is just breaking news. It's only just happened today, and please, if you enjoyed this video, like, comment and subscribe below. And in the meantime, this is Hound Dog Steve wishing you a great week coming up, and we will talk to you real soon. See you now. Bye.